My first introduction to Downieville was basically as a baby. You know, my parents would do Jeep trips every summer from Nevada City to take a month in the summer. And then coming back as a teenager who was getting in a lot of trouble in school, and my parents bought me a mountain bike, and I hooked up with this crazy guy that owned the shop named Zachy. He was like, yeah, dude, we're gonna go do this ride for 4 days. We're gonna ride from Nevada City all the way up to Sierraville and go through Downieville. And it was like a life-changing event. I mean, I think I was 17 years old. It was kind of a hippie family feel. Like the chicks on the trip were riding naked. You know, people were eating mushrooms. And we roll up onto the ridge overlooking like the Sierra Buttes, you know, and the sun was setting. And I was like, man, this is incredible. So the Sierra Buttes Trail Stewardship, we're a 501c3 nonprofit. So really, you know, we started out as just as really 3 people living in Downieville. Our trails were really well maintained by the Forest Service, probably until like the mid to late 80s. And as Downieville got a lot more popular, their funding just ran out. So really, our first purchase was a $600 chainsaw because so many trees were falling on the trails during the winter. And every year we started having a big trail day event, and it was more of an excuse just to have, you know, all our friends come up, you know, work a little bit, drink some beers, and tell some stories. And it started getting to where every year, like, you know, we started with maybe 30 people. Next year we had 50 people, and then we were getting up to around 100 people, and we didn't have enough tools to support it. And that's really the roots of the stewardship in terms of why we got our nonprofit, was to be able to write some grants, to be able to afford tools, and really to keep including more people.
I think the stewardship is a really interesting and different organization because we don't cater to one specific user group. We have multiple people who do multiple things. I mountain bike, I hike, I ride horseback, I do everything. And there's a lot of people within our group and organization that do that. So people want to come out and be a part of what we're doing because of that, and because of the types of trails that we're building, and because of the different projects that we have going on. They feel passionate about the trails, and they want to give their time and their money and see us succeed because of that.
Yeah, I'm still completely blown away by our volunteers. You know, the fact that people on average drive 350 miles round trip to come help us on trails. And we draw people for trail work days from as far away as, you know, Oregon and Idaho and Arizona. And I think, you know, one of the keys to our success is really like, we make it fun. You know, this is I always think of it as a tribe, you know, and I'm gonna get a little bit choked up, but you know, like I said, it's just amazing that people care enough to be able to like get in a car and drive like 4 or 5 hours to come dig in the dirt on trails that are in our backyard to make our community better and to enhance our recreation here. You know, it's magic. There's no like one thing that makes it happen, but it's happening here. And that's what's holding us all together.
You know, we like our beer and we like our music. And that is another thing, like this weekend coming up, and we have our Fall Mountain Epic. And it's a thank you to the members and the volunteers, and we feed everybody, and Greg plans this epic ride that just kills everybody. And then we cook a lot of meat and food and drink beer and tell stories, and you know, people look forward to this. They plan their calendars around our epics. It's like a family reunion.
You know, you see it like at the epics and at the trail days. You know, we have people that have been coming up ever since we like had our first trail day event. You know, that now they have kids and their kids are coming, and you know, and out of that we developed a program called Trail Kids, where kids 5 and up come out, learn about, you know, the watershed, learn about the trees, the wildlife. Like they actually go out with our crew and get to experience the outdoors on their own, think for themselves, and I think that's going to go a long ways for us as a community. So the people that make up the stewardship in terms of the staff, I mean, incredible people from definitely different backgrounds. And again, I alluded to this before, it's basically like feeling like a tribe. I mean, I'm not a micromanager. I'm more of you know, hey, if you think you can make it happen, let's make it happen. You know, as long as it's within kind of our mission statement and fits within what we can do, and you know, everybody's kind of got the green light to keep building on this.
You know, 90% of the work we do is focused on erosion control, you know, maintenance and sustainability. So for that type of work up here right now, we're stacking, you know, several 100-pound rocks in the tread, either sloping them or building steps just in the steep places, and that's more of the little more technical work that we do. We also build new trails, you know, and it's really everything from as simple as going in the spring and cutting out fallen trees, you know, and brushing places back that always grow a lot in the spring, just clearing debris off the trail, to, you know, some places it'll take us all day to rebuild 10 feet of trail just because of the size of rock we got to use. And other places, you know, we're building new trail with our little tractor. We've done, you know, just shy of a mile a day with that thing. So big, you know, pretty much all ends of the spectrum on that.
We're teaching the youth, the generation who's going to follow us and who are our future, to be stewards of the forest. And I'm a huge believer in that. I grew up hiking, but when you're born, you don't know that you want to hike until somebody shows you. You don't know that you're going to love the outdoors until somebody teaches you that. And I think that's a huge component that's missing in areas like this. Kids are always saying, oh, there's nothing to do and there's tons to do, there's tons to see, but you need to learn to love those types of things.
So we have a nationally recognized award-winning student trail program called Story Student Trail Crew. And it's a partnership with the Plumas National Forest. So we hire 8 high school students every summer and get kind of put through the paces. You know, they cook their own meals, they sleep in tents, and they work hard. They also get CPR certified, they get first aid certified. Dr. Rob, our medical director, developed this curriculum especially for us for wilderness first aid. So they get wilderness first aid certified, and then they get, you know, we start breaking down like all the different tools, how to maintain the tools, how to use them properly, different techniques on the trail. But these kids come away with, you know, this incredible experience, first of all, but they're also employable when they're done. You know, these are certifications that the Forest Service recognizes and opportunities that they might not ever get otherwise.
You know, we've got a curriculum where we have student crew coming out. These are local high school kids coming out, learning trail building skills, learning wilderness first aid. They're leaving the program with skills that they can take, and of course we hope they take them to come and do a little work for us in the future, but we also recognize that a lot of these kids are going to take those skills and they're going to go elsewhere, and that's what we love about it. Is it's the idea that these skills aren't our proprietary skills. They're skills that we can teach other people. And you know, speaking from my standpoint, from a wilderness medicine side, I want as many folks to know these skills as possible, because if I go off First Divide, I want to know that whoever comes across me can help me out and get me out of there. So the more folks that have these skills, the better.
Every year we do fundraising events. We do the Downieville Classic. It's an all-mountain biking race. And people come from all over the world to come and see the race and be a part of the festival. We do the La Sierra 50K endurance run, and from what we've heard from the racers, it's the hardest 50K they've done in their entire life. And our newest event is the Lost and Found. It's a gravel grinder, and there'll be a 30-mile, a 60-mile, and a 100-mile option for the pros who really want to show us their stuff. So we've been around for over a decade now, and we've had some really amazing successes. Currently, we have an annual payroll of over $500,000, and all those people live here in Plumas and Sierra County, so that money goes directly back into the economy. We also maintain over 150 miles of multiple use trails and have built over 50 miles of trail. And anybody can get out there, motos, mountain bikers, hikers, equestrian, trail runners, we love everybody. Another big impact that we see in the Sierra County is Yuba expeditions, and we're able to reach out to a lot of the mountain bikers and people who come through town wanting to use the trails in Downieville and share our message and grow our membership in that way, and the money we make with Yuba all gets fed back into the trail system. So anytime you go into Yuba, you make a purchase, you ride a shuttle, you rent a bike, you're helping maintain the trails, you're helping the stewardship in our mission.
As much as this whole thing was about having cool trails to ride and hike on, I mean, it's really become about economics in our community and the job creation from not just the trail crew and the staff that work here at the stewardship, but the economic impact of tourism. And it's a sustainable green economy, you know, I mean, multiple use recreation. You know, we see that through Mills Peak, which is a trail that we built, we conceptualized it, we introduced it to the Forest Service, we got the community support. We raised $200,000 to build that trail, so we employed a full-time trail crew for 3 years building that trail. And now you go to that trailhead on a Saturday and it's packed. And you look at the license plates and they're from, you know, Nevada, California, Oregon, Idaho. People are coming here for that one trail. And they're not just coming for the trail, they're coming to, you know, eat at the restaurants, to stay at the motels. So again, that's the economic benefits that we see far beyond just, you know, our staff here at the stewardship.
The areas up here, there are not a lot of jobs. And so when we have a full-time trail crew that's going to be able to work near 12 months out of the year, there's a lot that's going on from an economic standpoint just by bringing our crews out to do work in these mountains. But it goes well beyond that, because the trails they're working on, folks are going to come out and hike on those trails, they're going to tell their friends, and we start bringing more tourism into the area. And we're talking about a renewable resource. These trails are there, they're built to last, and we want people to come out and enjoy them, whether they're mountain biking, hiking, just coming out to enjoy some of the lakes in the Lakes Basin. And everybody that comes out has got to eat, they've got to sleep, and you know, bottom line is they're going to spend money having fun. It's great for the local communities.
far as where the stewardship, like where we see it going, I think it's like such an amazing, dynamic group that's happening here. I mean, every year, I mean, we kind of just shoot for the moon on a lot of stuff. And that's just what's gotten us to where we're at, you know? I mean, from a group of 3 guys that lived in Downieville to now, you know, we work in 2 forests and in 5 different districts. And I mean, we have like, at one point we had 25 full-time employees. So I'd say, again, our main goal is to exist here in the Sierras and for our kids to learn, you know, how special this place is and how to take care of it.
One of the unique things about the stewardship is it's made up of a bunch of very dynamic and unique individuals, and each one of us has a pretty unique skill set. So we really see it as a growing education piece where we're able to teach more and more people what we're doing and how we're doing it and why we think we're doing it so well. I think another big piece is the growth just in doing what we're doing, an organization that's actively tapping as many avenues as possible to bring funding into the nonprofit so that we can get right down to the root, and that is to build trails.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's no template for what we're doing. And our goals, I mean, they don't change a lot in terms of, like, our ultimate goal with our staff is to keep our families here in the Sierras for generations, just like we've been here. That's like, I would say that's our long-term goal. Keep the tribe together.